Let's talk about The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. I love it! It's such a good game. I would even say it's my favorite Zelda game out of all of them. It used to be Wind Waker, but this one? Man, it's just a joy to play. The addition of the powers Link is granted as you go is so cool. The fighting is really satisfying. Doing a perfect dodge and a flurry rush gives you that sense of, haha, yes, screw you! And pulling off a perfect block and reflecting a laser back at the Guardians in slow motion makes you feel like frickin' Neo in The Matrix. It's a really great game. Here's how to fix it. Well, I say fix. Obviously, this is very subjective, and I'm not saying the ending is wrong, so let's call it an alternate ending. It's how I would have preferred things to go in my personal opinion. I want to go over three main things: the blights being too repetitive, the ending being predictable, boring, and easy, and the lack of post-game. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know much about the lore of the game. I haven't read up on much other than what's presented to you as you play, so if anything in this video contradicts with any of the lore within this game, I'm just gonna leave it as implied that would then also be subject to change. This video won't nitpick small details throughout the game itself, instead I'll be focusing only on the ending. But there is one thing that I have to bring up, and that we will have to keep in mind for later. A quick disclaimer, this video will spoil the ending to Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Just putting that out there, in case it wasn't obvious. It's a video about the ending. Alright. The 4 Divine Beast bosses are bad. I'm gonna make a quick change to them and say that rather than fighting the same whatever blight over and over again, we're gonna fight each champion. But we're fighting a corrupted version, a mutated, blackened, infected with calamity version of every champion, using their powers against you. It'd give you more diverse boss fights, and it would tease the use of their powers used against you before you get to use them yourself. Cool? Alright, let's say that's in the game, now we move on to the ending. Welcome to Hyrule Castle. You did it. You made it. We're gonna go battle Calamity Ganon. Holy moly, right? Well, almost. The fight can start out as it does in the game, that's fine. The Divines blast Ganon, you fight him, you kill him.
Good.
But this is where my ending would take a different path. After you take out Calamity Ganon in his first form, he dies. But we know he doesn't really, because Ganon never just dies with one takedown. So now what? You're waiting for his second form, what's it gonna be? Is he gonna become human again? What? But then Zelda comes out. Maybe out of darkness, stepping out of Calamity into the room. What? Did you win? But something isn't right. Oh shit! Zelda's corrupted by Calamity, and you have to fight her! Like you did with the Guardians before! What? Mind blown? And she's using a weapon against you, a bow you've never seen before. Well, we would know that this is the Bow of Light, but let's pretend that this is the first game you're ever playing. Holy crap, I want that weapon. So you fight Zelda now, maybe deflecting her arrows back at her with a shield or something, whatever. Pow pow pow, fighting. As Zelda gets close to being defeated, however, Ganon, being the puppet master here, senses her weakness and discards her, tossing her to the ground. The Bow of Light goes flying, and this is when we're introduced to Dark Beast Ganon. So this huge monster Kool-Aids through the wall or floor or somewhere and bursts out into the courtyard or fields outside. And you can see him just going crazy out there, firing his phase laser, which I'll refer to as phaser from now on. He's firing his phaser all over the place, setting things on fire, going crazy. And then Zelda, regaining consciousness, calls to Link from the floor, begging him to take the Bow of Light and go take down Ganon before he ruins the whole of Hyrule now that he's out of the castle. And Zelda whistles to her horse, like you've been doing, unsuccessfully I might add, this entire game. Side note, I don't know about you, but I didn't once use this whistle to actually call the horses. The whistle should spawn the horse near you. I mean, come on. Unless you're on an island or a mountaintop or whatever, but still. The only thing the whistle ever did me was give away my position when I accidentally hit it, trying to be sneaky. Anyway, Zelda whistles, and her white steed comes running. Now, you might already have gotten this horse in the game. I hadn't, but odds are you've seen it in memories, and it creates this moment of, Aw, it's loyal to her after all these years still. So you get on and ride out to face Ganon. Alright, so now, as you're riding out, you see a cutscene. Ganon's pissed and he's all like, "Oh, you have no power here," or whatever. And then he shoots his phaser at Link, and Link does a jump off the horse, and the beam like goes in between him and the horse, and it's like, whoa, this is some serious biz, because it gives you a scale of the beam in proportion to Link, and it's like, what the shit do I do? And Ganon's all like, and Link's all like, oh shit, I don't got a shield big enough to deflect that, what the fuck? And so the fighting begins, except there are no magical glowing circles on his sides this time. Based on my experience, I didn't get hit once the first time I fought him. His face is the threat, and you're just riding around the sides? No, keep the action centered to his head. There has to be a better balance between threat and making progress. So you have to arrow his face eyes. He can have more than 2 if you want to drag it out, whatever, he's a goop monster. So you're dodging, taking out eyes, pow pow, all of them, gone. Now he's really pissed. He reels back, screaming, blinded. Not being able to see, he starts doing the crazy spinny laser move that you recognize from the tests of strength shrines. Whoa! So you have to fly up with a glider and shoot arrows at him from above. Just shoot anywhere, chip damage at most. Point here is, it's futile, but you're doing it in the air. Mental note for later. And then, just as it starts to feel hopeless, he stops. Now what? He gives off a roar, and suddenly his whole body glows red, and he's using the same hardened move from before. Shit! Nothing works anymore. Arrows ping off pointlessly. What do you do? And now Ganon, blind, is listening for Link. He's aiming his face right at you while you're doing your best to dodge. But then wait! You remember? You've watched Independence Day. You know just what to do. So you're riding around, dodging, carefully timing and planning your attacks, and just as Ganon is rearing back to fire, you ride out in front of his massive head, right in the line of fire, and you jump. In midair, you pull out the bow, the game goes bullet time as you draw and loose an arrow of light right in Ganon's open mouth. Everything goes quiet. There's a pause. And Ganon's like, oh shit. And then light starts to penetrate him from the inside, like Tom Riddle in the Chamber of Secrets, light beam after light beam punching through from within, goop rushing out, light beam, light beam, light beam. And then Ganon bursts, the calamity tearing and dissolving, and the light fades. But oh shit, Zelda! So we get the final cutscene where Link rides up to the castle. Zelda's on the floor, leaning up against some rubble, but seems calm. Link runs over to her, kneeling down, and Zelda gives her speech. Something about how you did it. You defeated Ganon, the divine beasts are no longer a threat to the lands, and the champion spirits are finally at ease and can move on. Hyrule is safe. You know, the usual spiel. Yet, she can still feel that taint of calamity lingering in the world, for it'll take years before it's truly gone for good. Here we are given an excuse to still have a blood moon and continue playing. But Ganon is no longer in control, and my 100-year-long battle with him is finally over. Thank you, Link. And Zelda gives you a smile, and then she fucking dies! Whoa! Just like that, her final ounce of strength exhausted. And King Ghost Dad from the start of the game shows up, and he embraces Force Ghost Zelda as they are reunited and at peace. And we zoom out, and we see the castle still in ruins, but with no more calamity, no more black goop or swirly stuff. Ending on a shot reminiscent of the opening shot where you exit the cave for the very first time, but this time showing you your impact on the world. The Guardians looming on their peaks, the blue towers scattered throughout the land, and the castle. Roll credits. But wait, load up that save again. You're back in the world! The castle is clean. In ruins, yes, but no more Ganon. You're now free to explore the world, take on shrines, do side quests, farm and buy outfits, whatever you like. The beasts remain inert as monuments to the champion's sacrifice. The blood moon can still happen due to this residual taint. You get satisfaction in knowing that the major threat is defeated. There is some sadness, but ultimately, the people are safe, the champion's spirits are at rest, and Zelda is free. And that is how I would have ended The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Thanks for listening. Hold on. Yeah, I know. There is a secret epilogue, post-credits, hidden ending that has a shot similar to the one I described. That's not what I'm talking about. I mean in the game, main story, as you beat Ganon. See what post-credit stuff does? It's here at the very end where most people miss it. See, you thought you had me. Haha.